Good day everyone, I'm Joshua Luis Mosqueda Orlando and I'm going to talk about psychological foundations of curriculum. Now, what is it and why is it important to understand? Psychology explains how a person learns. Since teaching and learning process taking place between living beings, psychology is important. So it is very important. So here is an example. Suppose I, as a teacher, ask a student, why were you absent yesterday? He may get very happy that I recognize his absence, that means he's important for me. Some other child might get irritated by the same question as he took as my interference in his life. So, it is not the same effect to everyone. So, some may took it positively and some student may took it negatively. So, that's why we need to study psychology. So that's why it's very important for us to study things. Next is there are 3 learning theories in psychology. First is behaviorism. It deals with various aspects of SNR and reinforcements. So it talks about reinforcements. Second, cognitivism. It studies how the learner relates himself to the total environment. So psychology studies how the learner behaves or relate himself to the environment or the world we live in. Next and the last, humanism. It emphasizes on effective domain of learning. What is behaviorism? Behaviorism claimed and proved that behavior can be modified by changing environment. In other words, a learner responds differently to different stimulus. Accordingly, it is suggested to intentionally provide stimulus to create desirable response. So, so learner responds differently from different environment. So, this is what behaviorism is. Behavior is a result of condition in which learning takes place. So, it is the condition in which learning takes place. Next, if proper stimuli are provided, behavior can be molded. So, if the teacher gave an effective stimuli, student can be molded easily or they can absorb easily the lesson or what the teacher has been talking about. Next, it is possible to control learning experiences to create desired learning outcomes. And last, it is important to reinforce positive behavior to ensure its repetition. So as a teacher, we need to give positive reinforcements to the students so that they can take it positively in their lives. So next, principles of behaviorism used in curriculum development. So there are 5. First, remediation of behavior, acquiring of skills and considerations, defining short-term and long-term objectives, suitable media and materials to suit the learner's needs and abilities, positive reinforcements of positive behavior, understand learners' needs better and develop activities and tasks according to that. So now let's talk about cognitive school of thought. So here's a theory of Jean Piaget. Sensory. So there are 4. So first is the sensory motor stage, which is the age of 0 to 2. The child learns sensory motor activities. He begins to establish simple relations between objects. So from 0 to 2, the child can establish simple relation between objects. So you can identify the objects by touching or whatever the child do. Next, the pre-operational stage. It is ages 2 to 7. Learns to take the symbolic meaning but can consider only one dimension. So the learner can, or the child can learn symbolic meaning, but only one-dimensional. So there are no deep thoughts, only one-dimensional. So next is the concrete operational stage, 7 to 11 age. Learns to organize data into logical relationship and can learn concepts in problem-solving situation. So the child can solve problems and think logically and learn concepts. Next and the last is formal operational stage, which is 11 onwards. So these are this is the age that we have now, because it is onwards. So formal operational stage. We think abstract and we think different from the three other stages, and we are responsible enough in our behavior, in what we are doing right now. So humanistic psychology. Humanistic psychology has been taken as a third force learning theory by many observers. First and second being cognitive development and behaviorism, psychologists are always concerned with the betterment of the society and the people. Humanistic approach suggests that our behavior is dependent on our concept of ourselves. Human beings understand wholeness of the problem and react to organize the pattern. So, psychologists are very concerned with the betterment of the society, because we're very dependent on ourselves. So what our concepts may be, or what our concepts in our life, it affects our behavior. That's why psychologists are very concerned of the things we have, or they want a better world for us, betterment. Next is Maslow's theory. So there so we talk about the humanistic psychology. Now these are the needs according to Maslow's theory. First is the psychological needs. These are basic needs without a person can survive and maintain life, like food, water, and oxygen. Next is safety needs. So these are the house and the things that we can feel that we are secured. Next is the love and belonging needs. So this is for our loved ones and the persons that we care the most. Next is esteem need. These are needs to identify as a respectable person. Self-actualization needs. These are needs demands the development of best within a person. Next is knowing and understanding. These needs are for desire to learn and know the deepest truths. So, yeah. Next is transfer of learning. So, it is expected that whatever a child learns in school will get transferred to a child's life and therefore to the society at large. Therefore, a curriculum must be based on such syllabus or subject matter which is useful and desirable for the child and the society, which promises maximum transfer of knowledge and matters. Now, better syllabus or better curriculum can affect have a very big impact to a child's development, because if we teach essentials to the learner, they can use it when they grow. So example, what you learn in math became part of your life. So if you learn the basic maths, so you learn the concept of math, you will live that your entire life, of what been taught to you that is true. So the last one and the last bullet, the basic human needs and curriculum. So there are two. First is self-actualization. This concept talks about the fulfillment or satisfaction that a person feels by achieving his or her own potential. And the next one, development task. When a task leads to happiness, satisfaction, or feeling achievement, and so on, it is called development task. Yun. So, if we feel that we've done our part, we are very happy, and we have that positive vibe, so it means, so that is development task. Now, I know that we need to learn psychological things, and it's very important for the curriculum because it's for the growth of the learners or the students from time to time. It is the basis of the growth, or it can affect big the learners development of what the curriculum been molded. So that's why we need to learn more about psychological things and these psychological foundations of curriculum. And that's all. Thank you for listening. Have a good day. Thank you.